Welcome to the Lokar Car Show. I'm Sam Madavi, coming to you this week from Nomad RS in Marion, Virginia, where Rusty brings nomads like these back to life. Welcome to the Lokar Car Show. This is gonna be one awesome car.
And I said, it doesn't even run yet. And look at it now, it's amazing.
Tucked in the Appalachian Mountains of Southwest Virginia is a specialty shop bringing classic Nomads back to life. Rusty is a Nomad aficionado and takes the vehicles through an intricate process to make them just as perfect as the day they were built. If you love Nomads, or maybe you're restoring one yourself, you need to have Nomad RS in mind for tech support, those hard-to-find parts, partial or full restorations.
All right, Rusty, so tell me, are these the vehicles that pretty much what they look like when you start them?
Yeah, this is what the way we find them when they come in, you know, all different stages.
Parts cars even?
Yeah.
Like this one I noticed,
Yeah.
you can see the whole ground of that one, even the frame rail.
Believe it or not, this car will get built.
I did not know Pontiac had a wagon like the Nomad.
Without Pontiac having their Safaris built,
Right.
the Nomad would have never got built because Fisher Bodies wanted a certain amount to make them, and Pontiac stepped up to the challenge, and
Wow.
the Nomads were built.
Man, so all those Nomad guys need to go say thank you to the Pontiac guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me about the numbers of Nomads that are out there. Like how many were built?
In 1955, there was 8,534 built. In 1956, they built 8,103. In 57, they built 6,100 and I think 7.
Wow.
So,
that's a low number across the board when you
Yeah,
think about it.
under 22,000 total for all 3 years.
That's why Nomads are so sought after, huh?
They're popular with all the GM guys, the Chevrolet guys, anybody that's Tri-5, the Nomad's the cream of the crop car, so.
That's crazy. And so you guys will take these cars and build them up.
Yes, yeah.
All right, Rusty, now tell me what you got going on here.
Got 55 chassis here. These are the starting points right here.
Now, what's the differences between these two chassis?
This is what they call a California one-piece frame, and this is a two-piece frame.
You can see right here where the weld is, where they put the two pieces together and welded it, whereas right here there is no seam, it's a box, but they put a little piece right here with a seam in it, probably for a crumble zone, huh?
Yeah, that was something to do with the California regulations in the 50s is why that was done that way, and 80% of the cars, that's the way they came out with two-piece frames. Now, this is where it starts at. You take a project car like this, then you go with your floor pan, body bushings, floor pan, and then go from there.
Now, what makes you bolt the floor pan onto the chassis first, whereas most other people put the floor pan in place on the body on a rotisserie or something?
If you use a rotisserie, which is fine, but you're not getting the actual effect of it being on the car to get all your body lines, because in the 50s the body lines were smooth body lines, but if you got off just a little bit,
it was all off.
Right, it's so much easier to have your chassis completely ready with your disc brakes, your brake lines, your fuel lines, everything ready to go.
So tell me about the Safari here. This is a low number car, correct?
Yeah, this is number 20 of 1,296 made in 57. This is the rarest one of the Chevy Nomads and Pontiac Safaris. This is the lowest production number out there.
Wow, that's insane. So you have plans on completely restoring this one?
Yes. I saved it because the Nomaders love this right here when they got a bad roof. A lot of Safaris has lost their life for a Nomad. They cut the roof off and
it would have been a real shame for this low number one to go through that.
Yeah, when I seen that number 20 of 1,296 made, I had to have it.
Tell me about the chassis. Is there anything different with the chassis on this car?
Yeah, the Pontiac Safari used a X-frame like a convertible. Pontiac Safari is 122-inch wheelbase, and the Nomads are 115.
Wow, I could never tell. And you said
Yeah.
they use the same top on both lengths of car.
Right, from the belt line up, they used everything the same, from the front back, from the windshield back to the lift gate on the back of the car.
I didn't even know Nomad had a sister car.
Yeah, that's why the Nomads got built, because of these cars right here. That's what happened. That's why they got built.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's time for the Lokar Lowdown with Jeffrey Walls.
For you racers and 4x4 guys that need something to grab onto, we've got a new solution for you with our new grab handle. Bolts on or clamps on to the roll cage, offered in multiple different finishes such as our billet brushed, black billet, or even our polished billet handles. The same thing applies for our dial-in boards for you bracket racers. We've got an application that fits for whether you've got a digital or even a manual board for the back of your car. Again, bolt on or clamp on style. Other drag racing products you should check out that we have, we've got our locking dipsticks, trans dipsticks and engine, as well as bracketry for your throttle linkage, whether you're on a push-pull cable or a standard throttle cable linkage. You got everything you need, hold it down tight, right underneath throttle body, stable, can't move, consistent every time. Check this out and more at lokar.com.
Wow, Rusty, so this is where all the magic occurs, huh?
Yeah, this is it.
Man, this is very cool. I see you have everything here you need to make these cars look the way they do.
Yeah.
You know, considering what comes out of this shop and what you start with, you don't have a lot that gets you from point A to B.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got the basic stuff that you use to create these awesome cars, which is really cool because a lot of people have a lot of other tooling and items they need to build metalwork and stuff like that. So you got everything you need right here to build these Nomads.
Yeah.
Toolbox, huge cabinets for your sandblasting goes.
Yeah,
All the welders you need.
plasma cutter.
I like the mat underneath the lift. Now that is a good way to protect your floor.
That's definitely the way to go.
I'm gonna go home and get one for my shop. That's a very awesome idea.
It's standard tools. I mean, if you got the toolbox with what you need, you can do about anything.
I see you got the right toolbox. So you built this building with your own two hands as well, and your friends?
Yeah, me and my friends, we done what you see here.
You did a very good job. You know, this is definitely where I would go to get away from things. And to build cars like you're building here, it's gotta be fun.
Oh yes, it's beautiful.
I know you're having a good time.
Oh, loving it.
So tell me, why do you got so much glass here on the shelf?
Liftgate frames, which is the window frame for the Nomads. It's cores, I buy them used, all over the country. We take them and straighten them and rechrome them. And
Really? So how many people are there out there that actually straighten these lift gates?
it's a rare deal. Me and another guy, Mad Mooks in Arizona, are basically the only two people I know of that's doing it.
Now, what would make them work?
That's where they had the torsion bars from the factory up in the roof of the car, and it kept pressure, so when you opened the tailgate, it helped force it up. And people drove down the road with the lift gates open.
And a surfboard hanging out the back.
Yeah, and it kind of twisted them, and once they get twisted, they won't fit the car. What I'm doing here is I'm making the glass fit perfect, 15 3/4 on each side, 15 3/4 in the middle.
Rusty, I totally see what you mean right here. There's almost a 1/2-inch air gap going through that tailgate.
Right.
And what's behind us is one that's completed, and it looks pretty perfect to me. That looks amazing, Rusty. This is, of course, completed. You can see the lines all match. All right, so Rusty, who does the upholstery work in your cars?
I do.
You do yourself, huh?
Right.
Right here.
Yeah, I buy most of my original waffle trimmed interiors from Sedella's in Phoenix, Arizona.
Now, is this waffle trim, is that all 3 years, or they only use it?
No, this was just for 55 Nomad only, is the waffle trim.
Wow. Look at that trim. That is some really nice trim. Is that original to the car?
No, this is aftermarket stainless by Mad Mooks in Arizona.
Really?
Yeah, he reproduces all the cargo stainless and rear seat stainless for the Nomads, 55, 6, and 7.
That is very impressive and very nice to have somebody out there that can actually do that for you.
Right.
But what about the trim on the outside of the car?
55 Nomad only had the eyebrows, fender spears, and door spears, which was unique to the 55 Nomad.
So this is what the eyebrows and the side trims look like off
Yeah,
the car.
this is a restored set that just back from the chrome shop.
Back from the chrome shop. And this is a very heavy piece.
Yeah, they
It's
are.
amazing for pot metal to be that heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, so you said this is just 55. When you go to install it, which piece would you start with first?
I start with the eyebrows, which is at the front of the car over the headlight. I start there, get a good snug fit, come back with my fender spears, finish with the door spears.
You know, it's so nice to know that you build these cars bumper to bumper all yourself right here, and that's what keeps the quality high.
We have to go to a quick break. We'll be right back with more of the Lokar Car Show.
Rusty travels the country scouting these vintage cars. They're usually in pretty bad shape when he gets them. He goes through a vigorous process to bring these cars back to life. Let's go check out some Nomads.
Rusty, the attention to detail on this car is absolutely impeccable. What color do you call this?
Matador red with Adobe beige top.
Wow, even though it's got a hint of orange to it. Now, how many different shades were there for the top?
They made several different, most of them were light colored tops, you know, like whites, ivories, you know, tans.
Is this one pretty much ready for you to deliver?
Pretty much finished. This is a high-end driver car, not a show car. It's a high-end driver that somebody can jump in and enjoy right now.
Absolutely. What kind of powertrain's in this thing?
This thing's got the old school 427 700R.
So when you do a resto like that, does it affect the value of the rest of the car?
No, everybody wants the modern, you know, they want the old look with the, you know, the modern features, power brakes, power steering, you know, air conditioning, that type of deal.
Now, how long did it take you to build something like this?
We finished this car, and when we got it in, we finished it in less than 6 months.
I was looking underneath the car, noticed the headers being HPC coated, 3-inch exhaust is painted, tucked up
Right.
under the car, so it's not going to scrape any speed bumps.
Right.
Rusty, I'm looking at these exhaust cutouts, and I've never seen one of this style. That looks like it's really high quality, and it's going to be really reliable.
Yeah, it is, for
I
sure.
can see this one's got the California frame under it.
Yes.
But I'm looking at this one. This one really catches my eye. Now, the interior is not in it, but I'm noticing all the sound deadening that you put in the floor of this car.
Right, yeah, the sound deadening really helps. A wagon's like a drum anyway, and it really helps with the heat, the noise, any rattles, you know, anything. It really covers it. By the time the carpet goes in over top, it's nice.
Now, what kind of engine does this one have?
This is a 502 crate big block.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the 502 horsepower crate big
Right,
block as well.
right.
Everything fits so well. See, you got big primaries on the headers too, copper gaskets.
It's an aftermarket chassis.
That way it's going to handle all the horsepower.
Right, gives you little upgrades on your suspension
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot.
This is nice. Now, how complete? How much more hours do you have in this? Is it just the interior?
Yeah, I've got the interior and a few tweaks here and there. I'm probably looking at maybe another 100 hours in this car.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, Rusty, what we got here is a 427 build, factory chassis, done really nice on the outside. So this would be an old school build, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And then you would consider the one behind us on the lift a more modern build because it's got the 502 crate engine in it, 502 horsepower, but this one's got a chassis swap.
Right.
So if you were in 1955 and you wanted to get an original Nomad, this is what you would expect, correct?
That's correct. Showroom floor.
Showroom floor. Now this is beautiful. How many hours does it take to get to this point?
There's probably 800 hours, 800 man hours in this.
Wow, that is incredible. Now on the interior, what you see on the inside is basically showroom floor as well.
Right.
You
yes.
didn't do your signature dash on top of this one.
Right, because I wanted it all original, just like it come off the showroom floor, no extras.
This is absolutely beautiful. You know, I could see why they got so popular back in the day. Now, does this thing have an engine and transmission in it?
No engine and transmission.
That is a nice engine bay. Nicely finished. Now, what are you going to put as far as a powertrain in this?
We're going with the LS3 Corvette plug and play, plug and cruise.
Yeah, the connect and cruise comes with everything, the transmission, the wire harness, computer, and the accessories. That's going to be a really nice deal for this.
Yeah, nice setup.
Now, it's okay to go ahead and put an updated powertrain in something that's so original looking like this.
Yes, for the horsepower, it's perfect because the 265s had 160 horsepower compared to what we're talking about, a fuel-injected 435 horsepower.
Yeah, with a nice cam.
Right.
Long warranty, and it's going to do awesome on fuel economy going down the road.
Right.
So this would be considered your more modern build.
Yes.
That is very beautiful.
Stay tuned for more of the Lokar Car Show.
Rusty shares his passion amongst friends while they're working at the shop. Rocky knows his way around the grill and a custom pizza oven, keeping his friends well fed.
The history of the car, the Nomad, began in 1954 at the Motorama show in Waldorf, Maryland. We're designing a Corvette station wagon, and that's how this Nomad became. They were designing a Corvette wagon. If you wanted to purchase a sporty wagon in 1955, this is what you bought.
That's insane. So they actually had a Bel Air wagon, station wagon as well.
Yeah, they had several different models.
And what was the difference between the Nomad and the wagon as far as the roof line went?
The Nomad's a unique roof, one of a kind. The wagons were more up and down at the back of the car. You know, the windows wasn't sloped, none of that.
So what was the difference between the Pontiac and the others?
For anything from the belt line up on the Pontiac Safari was the same as the Nomad. Anything down, you know, was Pontiac only. They all competed back in the day. You know, GM let everybody compete, different branches compete, and this is what you come up with.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they retooled the plants 55, 6, 7. Every year they retooled the plants to make a totally different car.
That's incredible. That's why there are so many differences that maybe us novice wouldn't see in between the 3 years.
Yeah, you know, when you really look at them in different years, you can tell the difference, you know, when you look at it. But you know, the Nomad, the tailgates on them, all were the same. Pontiac Safari had the same tailgates, you know, same roof.
Now you said the frames were different between the California, the Nomad, and the Pontiac.
Yeah, the California Pontiac cars and the California Nomads, you know, the Chevrolets, they were all one-piece frames.
Really?
Yeah, and it was, you know, something to do with California regulations back in the 50s. So.
I have learned so much talking to you today about Nomads and the history of vehicles, period. You know, Rusty, sitting in this, I feel like I'm back in 1955 sitting in a brand new Nomad. You guys do an incredible job.
Yeah, this is original type setup, all the interior chrome, the headliner bows, a lot of unique features. We've got the rear seat lays all the way down for a great big cargo area, got sliding rear glass that open up for ventilation. It's perfect. It was a great design.
But you know, looking at the attention to detail on this interior and seeing how you put everything back to factory original look shows a lot about your work. I can see why it took 800 hours to put this thing together.
Yeah, you gotta love it. Nothing else to say. It's just a work of art.
I can tell by the work that you actually do love it.
Oh, I do.
Very nice. I'm glad you showed me how to get out of the car. I didn't bump my head. This is beautiful, Rusty. This is absolutely beautiful. One day I'm gonna contact you to build me a Nomad. Now, if I want to contact you to build one, how would I do that?
You can reach us at nomadrs.com. It'll have all my contact, email, phone, pricing, you know, a lot of stuff you want to ask.
Okay, now if I wanted to have you finish a car or build it from scratch, you can do anything I want.
Yeah,
right?
we love to do it. We love to take a project you stalled out on, finish it for you. We love to give pointers, tips, We sell parts, we'll restore your moldings. Whatever we can do to help with the Nomad trade, we'll do it.
And that's all about the passion.
Yeah, it's passion for the Nomads and the love of Nomads.
That is so cool. I've learned so much being with you here this weekend. Thank you so much again, Rusty. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rusty, I want to thank you so much. I can't tell you how much I learned about Nomads, and I know there are others out there like me. And thanks again for your hospitality.
You're welcome. No matters until we meet again.
And until next week, that's a wrap.
Join us next week as we head to the driving club at Road Atlanta.